Hello everyone, I'm Saimukul. I'm a student of English Care. Today I'm going to talk about the biography of Marie Curie. Long ago, in the year of 1867, at Poland, they born a little girl to a beautiful family. Although she was born into a beautiful family, the family were not at a good status in the place of economy. The family was too poor. Their father, her father was a teacher at both chemistry and physics, while her mother was also a teacher. Although they were teachers, their family cannot give a backup to her. Not only Marie Curie, there were 5 children, including Marie Curie. So think about it. A poor family, 5 children. It must be impossible task for them. And as they were growing up and up, and one day their father didn't get enough salary because he also did writing. He was working sincerely for his country Poland, but at that time Russia saw that Poland was growing equally among them. So at that time Russia was one step ahead of Poland, and Russia conquered Poland at that time. So now Marie Curie's father had to work for Russia. His job got declined and he was forced to lift heavy grains on his back. So although it was a difficult job, he was paid less. So this even worse the situation, and Marie Curie was in a deep depression because they don't have family and they have 5 children to manage, and they were going to schools. But before going to school, their father thought that he cannot manage all the children, because with a little money he can't provide food to all of the members of the family. So he thought of letting them into a hostel. He went to the hostel and he gave admission to all of the children there, and he went there. And as he was studying, due to depression, as all the children were away from their parents were so sad, and all the 5 children were so sad, and the elder sister Zoyak died due to depression. So this even worse the situation for Marie Curie. And when their parents heard this, they lost hope, and their mother, Marie Curie's mother, also got a typhoid fever and she also died. So Marie Curie now had a lot of responsibilities for her, because both of her elder sister and her mother died, and her father was affected with severe fever due to the depression. And Marie Curie, along with her another sister, thought of going to France, because as they cannot continue in Poland, because at that time Poland was under Russia's control, and what Russia tells, it must be the Poland's rule. And at that time girls were not allowed to study for higher education and to work in the Russia, in Poland. So they thought of moving to France, and they both moved to France. And first, as her elder sister finished her studies first, she first moved to France, and all the time all were going well, and they made an appointment with them. Like Marie Curie told that if you finish your studies, until you finish your higher studies, I will do some small jobs and I will send you money, and like that you should do me when I also go to the higher studies. So they agreed to this appointment. And as the elder sister moved to France, Marie Curie went to all of the places. She even worked in some other's home, and sweeping, cleaning, whatever job it was, she did all the thing. And one time when she was sweeping up in another one's house, and while she was sweeping, she fell in love with the boy of that house, and they proposed. And this incident was known by his father, and his father came and told that as you are poor and you are the only child who is working for your family, and we are in a good economic status, so my son will not be a good pair for you. So Marie Curie, after hearing this, she thought that we should not fall in love with anyone, and she started focusing on her job opportunities. Whatever job it was, she did sweeping, cleaning, all the one. And after her sister finished studying, she also went there. They both went to France and studied. But as they didn't have any money at that time, because we cannot get a lot of money by doing household chores. So at that time they went and they somewhat managed to study with what they had. At the first, Mary Curie started studying in her sister's room, and as they were studying, they thought that they cannot manage because there was only one fan, one small room, two members have to live. So it is impossible for them. So Mary Curie, after studying, she got some money and she thought of moving into a separate room. She also went to a separate room. It wasn't a big one. It was just a small room with only one chair, desk, fan. That's all. So it was only a small room and she cannot afford because she will be mentally affected sitting in a small room. Even if she walks 3 to 4 steps, the room will end. So however, it was a small room. She managed to study and she finished all her studies. And now, as she was moving into the college, as I mentioned later, that girls were not allowed to move to the college and to go for the job. But she managed somewhat, and she searched on the websites which college was allowing girls to study, and she found a university and she went there. But it was also known as the flying university because it will temporarily change its place from one place to another. For 1 month, the university will held at France. Another time it will go to some other place, like they'll be shifting, because at that time they were doing this without the eye of the government, because if they keep the university as one place, the government may see it and government may close it. So Mary Curie thought that of joining the college, and she joined the college. And moreover, she thought the college was affording all the fees, free food, free education, all the one, and she was studying. But she seemed that it was so impossible for her to move from one place to another. But however, she managed and flight, and she completed all her studies, and she got a degree in physics and chemistry. And she also had a taste for biology and mathematics, and she also got a degree in this. And after that, she went to work. But in the university, she thought that she had she liked in the place of radium. Radium is a study about the process, but radium is while studying about this radium, it may provide us many health issues, because radium is a very toxic one. But she studied there, and she also met Pierre Curie. He was the headmaster of that group, and Marie Curie went there, and she first asked the permission to get into the lab, as he was the headmaster. And while she was asking, Pierre Curie fell in love with Marie Curie, and when he proposed to her, she didn't accept her, because her family was in they were at the bottom of the rock in their economic status. And as she was living in France, she also told that her main motive was to go to the Poland, because even if she lives in France, how can she take care of her sisters? So she thought that I should go to the Poland and I should look after my sister, and my aim is to work there. So she rejected it, and after day by day, she thought that we can live in France, because France government was in a good deal with her. And as she completed all her studies, and she was the one and only person to get a PhD degree in the field of biology and mathematics, and she was studying. And one time, and Pierre Curie and Marie Curie married each other, and after a long time, they started both working in the field of radium. After working in the field of radium, Marie Curie thought not only radium was, she thought that if there were any other elements which possess the same characteristics of the element radium. She did all the one, and she studied for hours day and night without sleeping. She did even forget to eat. And she studied, and for her luck, she invented an helium called polonium in the year of 1898, and she introduced that into the France government, and France government accepted it that polonium was an element, and they awarded her. But at that time, here is what the main matter starts, because at that time it was the 18th century, and awarding a PhD degree to the woman, it was strictly prohibited at that time. So they thought, how can we give this? And after Curie had managed all the thing, and after a long time she got Marie Curie. Marie Curie attained the PhD degree for finding the polonium. She didn't stop from here. She also continued, and after polonium she invented the radium in the same year of 1898. And now there was a press conference giving as she won a Nobel Prize in it, as it was only awarded to the men, and Pierre Curie got it. But Marie Curie's name wasn't mentioned at that time. So Pierre Curie got so much angry, he felt so frustrated, because Marie Curie was the one who put so much effort in finding the element radium, but she wasn't offered this Nobel Prize. And she however managed, and he had a friend in the committee, and he told them that Marie Curie was the one who had put much sincere effort and hard work, and she also got it. And after a long time, after 3 years after getting the degree, her husband died, because as I mentioned earlier that the study of radium includes a health risk, because when you are experimenting with radium, some of the amount of the toxic gases may enter into her body, and like this is the situation which happened to her husband, and he died. Despite her husband's death, she managed and continued and found many elements that needed to France. But at that time, when France government declared an offer to Marie Curie, America intervened that she needed 1 kilogram of radium at that time. America went in and told her, I need 1 kilogram of radium. But the France government thought that if Marie Curie went to America, our country status would be in the bottom rock. So we should not let her, and they somewhat convinced her that we would give you many degrees, we will give you a national award, but she didn't accept it all. The only thing she needed was a more amount of radium. So by the year of 1920, she went into America, and she also invented many things like many elements which was essential for the human beings at that time. And after a long time, in the year of 1920, Marie Curie moved to America, and she invented many things for the field of science. And however, she died in the year of 1934. She has an anemia at that time. As I mentioned earlier, radium is a very toxic element. After working long with radium, she suffered with one kind of anemia, and she died. She was 66 years old at that time. However, she died till date. Her name is spoken every time. Her legacy continues. Thank you. Have a nice day.